Hi, my name is Taylor Singer, and for our book club reading assignment, I had to read the book Ghost Girl by Tori Hayden. This book is about Tori's experience after she worked at a medical clinic with elective mutism children. She found a job opening for a small town near the big city where she worked in that clinic and decided to just take it. She had 4 students in her special education classroom. She had a mentally handicapped student, a mute student, a student with just pugnacious or naughty behavior, and she also had a student that had autism. Tori felt connected with this child with elective mutism because she had worked with children with the same disability or disorder previously. So she wanted to get this little girl to talk. That was the only girl in the class. The other 3 were boys. She kind of made JD, the little girl, feel like she had to talk because Tori was, a stranger, and she said she expects her to talk. JD slowly kind of warmed up to that idea, and because the only other place she would talk was her home. So when she told JD about, that she needs to talk, it's okay to talk, she talked to JD like she told her she had worked with children like her before and that she would try to help her. JD connected right away with Tori. She would show up after school in the cloakroom. That's where Tori's desk was in their classroom, and want to talk to Tori, but she would only do so if she could lock the classroom door and the cloakroom door so that no one could hear them, and she made sure that spiders couldn't hear. She was definitely a disturbed child. She would talk about just many things that just kind of had Tori think that she was maybe abused. She talked a lot about like sexuality and things like that. She talked about these people that she knew that tell her to do things that she didn't want to do. These people also killed her 6-year-old friend, Tashi, who she talked about a lot. And so Tori decided to set up a meeting with JD's parents just to kind of find out a little more background knowledge since she was a new teacher. JD was 8, by the way. And her parents said that they don't think anything's wrong with JD. She, talks at home. She acts really silly at home and says naughty things, kind of like the little boy in the classroom, but her parents just figured she got that from school. Tori, one time, in the classroom had a video camera that was set up so she could watch what she did during the day and see what she could do differently, and she found at the end of one of her recordings, JD, kind of was like a ghost in the video, and she was asking Tori, help me, and Tori didn't know if JD did that on purpose or not. At those afternoon meetings that JD would show up to, she would play with these dolls and kind of treat them how she said she was treated by being sexually abused. But JD said that she never wanted to tell anyone else, but she expected Tori to help her because Tori said she could. There was a few times where JD was caught actually molesting one of the boys in the classroom and also a puppy from the neighbor from the school, and Tori found both of those instances JD doing this. JD had 2 younger sisters who she claimed were being hurt as well. JD finally said that she would go with Tori to tell someone else, and when they showed up to the principal to tell him, JD decided she didn't want to talk. And this investigation went on because Tori had said all the things JD had talked about. Tori had done some research and looked into things, she knew about, disturbed children. She looked into, Satanists, because she thought of a lot of things that JD would talk about were, ritual type things. Finally, after talking to the principal, though, about a week later, JD decided that she she had already been taken out of her home. Her and her sister's in a foster care, and Tori said, why don't we talk with someone in the cloakroom, or why don't you talk to, one of the therapists in the cloakroom? And finally, JD was up for it. She went into the cloakroom, locked the door, and she did talk to a therapist about what was going on. And it turns out that, her parents were, or somebody was sexually abusing her. Tori was thinking that she used these names of these people as ways to cover up her parents, so because she still loved them. Something like that. That was actually, I found in my articles, quite normal. I also found in some of my articles that sexual abuse is very common for children with elective mutism. I learned a lot about this. I've never even thought about mutism in children. I've heard of it, but it was really interesting reading this book and connecting these articles that I found. I've never run across anybody, like I said, with mutism, so this book was really interesting. I know a lot of the things I read in articles were things that a teacher should typically be doing in the classroom with children, but if you have a child with mutism, you have to be more consistent with it and try to make them feel real comfortable. It was kind of really inspiring how Tori had got this girl to open up and talk about her troubles, and everybody around her didn't think she was telling the truth, and even her sister said, no, JD's, she basically said she's crazy, she was born wrong, and her sister stood up for her parents or whoever was doing the abusing, and like she was shutting it out. I guess that's my summary of the book and kind of what I got out of it. I'm definitely going to keep this book, for my future references, and I will probably end up reading it again. It was really challenging to read, though. I felt myself feeling so bad for this little girl, and but I also learned an awful lot. If you get a chance, you should read this book, Ghost Girl, by Tori Hayden. Thank you.